Shalom, Israel, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah 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 Yahweh Shah. All praises due. I'm coming to you today with another quick message, edifying message. I pray it's edifying to you. Yeah. So I know in my last video I talked about how marriage isn't like the actual marriage is penetration. You know, when you get with a woman, you lay with her and stuff like that. I just want to go over what fornication is, man, and what marriage is really. You know, because back then, you know, like I said in my last video, Joseph, he did lay with Mary, you know, but they just weren't with each other at the time in the same house, man, and that wasn't, you know, it was frowned upon back then, you know, so they really just try to keep it under wraps, but yeah. I'm gonna go over what fornication is, man, and marriage, you know, just for the edification of the body, the ones that don't know. So yeah, and the ones that do know, you know, hope y'all can take a ride along with me today, man, and just take a trip back down memory lane. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off in Matthew chapter 5, starting in verse 1. Starting in verse 28, and reads, "But I say unto you, whoever looketh on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart." Alright? So, you know, lustful ways, man, and that's not meaning like you know, looking at a woman and just saying, oh, she's pretty, she's fine. You know, that's looking at a woman like with bad intentions on trying to do something to her, you know, and all that type of stuff. Just being fucking overboard, you know. Verse 29, "If thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out." And this is talking about the body. This is talking about multiple wives, man. So we'll pay attention closely to verse 29, you know, because King Solomon, he reared off because he had multiple wives that were in different doctrines. You know, he had concubines that were Egyptians and stuff like that, and that's how he got laid off. He started going into their doctrines, man. They were, you know, deceitful. So look at verse 29. I want y'all to look at that. Matthew 5 and 29. This is Yahweh Shah speaking too. Red letter. "And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee." Right? This is of the body. You know, a man when he has multiple wives, that's called the body, man. Just like we're the body in a sense too. You know, nation of Israel. You know, this is pertaining to that too as well, right? Matthew 5 and 29. "If thy eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell." And we all know hell is a condition, man. You know, it's a condition, and it's death, really. So, you know, just like Solomon reared off, man, you know, he was punished for that. You know, if you just would have cut off them women that he was, you know, getting rid off by, you know, it wouldn't have happened. You know, but that this is what that was saying, man. You know, cut off one of the bodies, the members. You know, if you got an aqua or a female that's offensive, you know, and this was for back then, because right now we can't really do multiple wives, but it will be in brought into play in the near future, man. Once this stuff go down, it's only gonna be a handful of men, and there's gonna be a whole lot of women. You know, so it's gonna be brought back in place. So this is really just edification, man. You know, because we're gonna have to deal with some wicked ass females, man, that just won't get it. Verse 29, 5 and 29. "If thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out, and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body, and should be cast into hell. This goes for them concubines that you know you actually when you want to get in the future, man. Hey, man, if they ain't with it, man, they out of it. Verse 30. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. Verse 31. It have been said, whosoever shall put away his wife. Now listen up. This is pertaining to verse 30 and 29. Put away his wife. Let him give her a writing of divorcement. Now come on now. You just read. Should I go back up and read it? We're gonna read it. We're gonna read it all. We're gonna get to do this nice and slow. Matthew 5 and 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members shall perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell. It's talking about your wives. If one offend thee, if one's in vain doctrine, your concubines, vain doctrine, cast them away from the body. You don't want to be brought into that, just like King Solomon did. Right? 30. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body should be cast into hell. Look at verse 31. It pertains to those verses, y'all. It have been said, whosoever shall put away who? His wife. One of the members. I can't make this up. One of the members. Let him give her a writing of divorcement. Right? Which is basically, they didn't, had divorcements back then. It's just this wicked ass English language. But it's basically a statement of, you're not with this woman no more, man. It says in the scripture that you can put away your woman if she's leading you astray, leading you off. You can put her away, right? Look at verse 32. But I say unto you that so whosoever put away his wife, right, the member of the body, his wife, saving for the cause of fornication. There's a meat. Can I start from the top? Verse 32. But I say unto you that whoever put away his member, let me just replace that wife with member, saving for the cause of fornication. Why did it say saving for the cause of fornication? Why? Because if you put away your wife, the one that's bringing that false doctrine in, it will save you from fornication. Because a man fornication is different from a woman's, right? Because a man's fornication is going off of the Most High's word, going off and worshiping vain doctrine. That's how Solomon committed fornication, right? A woman's fornication is going to a different man and going to a different doctrine too as well. But fornication is also dealing with going to a different man because she's only supposed to have one man. Right? That's what it's saying right here, man. It's clear as day. Look, verse 32. Verse 32. But I say unto you that whoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, so you won't fornicate, you put her away, you divorce her, you don't want nothing to do with her, you don't want her to pull you down into that doctrine. It might be a concubine that's of another nation. Come on, y'all. Look. Causes her to commit adultery. Alright, so let's start from the top. Matthew 5 and 32. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. How does a woman commit adultery? And so whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery. Right? Because once you with that man and you get to divorce her, she's not supposed to go with nobody else, man. She's not supposed to sleep with nobody else. The only way that can happen is if the woman has a wicked ass husband. Listen up. A wicked ass husband, and he's going off of doctrine. She can put his ass away. Because, and another way can happen if she's not taken care of, and he's focusing on the other woman, and not taken care of equally, she can put them away. Those are two ways she can put them away. Then she can go to get her another man. But if it's the other way around, he put her away, she's done. She can't go get another man, man. Why? Because it would be cause adultery. Because once she goes to another man, she wasn't supposed to do that, man. She was put away for her wicked ways. She can't go to another man. The only way she can do that is, like I said, two ways. One, the man is wicked and he's totally going off of the Most High's word. Two is if she's not being taken care of equally as the other women. That's for the Israelite women, right? The Israelite women only. She's not equally taken care of, and the man can't support her. That's two ways she can go and leave and get another man. Other than that, it's done. She's not supposed to do it. That's adultery, right? That's adultery. And if you want to know the definition of adultery, let's look it up. Adultery. Swat. Slot. Voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and a person who is not his or her spouse, right? So that's basically, we go back to there, man, and I have to look that up on Google, but whatever. That's how she commit adultery, man. She's not supposed to, because she's not supposed to go and lay with another man, because that woman was another man's wife. They were married. They had intercourse. And if she goes to another man, that's adultery, because she was already with that man. Like I said, the only way to bypass that is if the woman puts away the man because one or two reasons. What's that first reason? He's wicked and he's not worshiping the Most High. Or two, he's not supporting her like he's supposed to. That wipes her clear. That wipes that clean slate. She's basically a virgin again. She can go who she wants to, right? It won't be adultery. Okay? So, now we got that down pat. Let's go and get a preset. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10. 1 Corinthians 10 and 8. 1 Corinthians 10 and 8. And it reads, neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. That's 23,000. Look at this. Let's read that again. 1 Corinthians 10 and 8. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them that committed and fell in one day. The Most High wiped their ass out for fornication. That was back then, man. You know, that's still now, man, because all these 2/3 are getting fucked up, man. The men, you know, because they rearing off into strange doctrine, into strange women. The Most High wipe them out. Look at this. 1 Corinthians 10 and 8. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day. 23,000. Man, let's go get a preset for that. Let's get a preset for that. Gotta get a preset. Let's get a preset, man. Revelations 2 and 14. And then this is Yahushua speaking. And it reads, it's a preset for that last one. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, which is a false doctrine. False doctrine. Here's a me. Listen up. Who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel. Who are the children of Israel? That's us, right? To eat the things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. Fornication is when a man goes off into a different doctrine. A woman can commit fornication two ways. Is when she goes and sleeps with another man because she's not supposed to mingle seed. What are all the two ways that she bypasses that though? Is what? The man's wicked or she is not getting taken care of. But she's not supposed to mingle seed. That's adultery. Another way she can commit adultery is leaving the doctrine, right? The two ways a woman can commit adultery. One way a man can commit adultery is leaving the doctrine of the Most High, man. Going into strange women, other strange doctrines, right? That's why it says, Revelations 2 and 14. But I have a few things against thee. This is Yahushua speaking. Because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, which is a false doctrine, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, the men of Israel, the women too, to eat things sacrificed unto idols and commit fornication. Right? That's how you commit fornication for a man, per se. This is one way you can commit it. And that's going against the Most High's word, going into other doctrines, worshiping false idols, and doing all that kind of stuff, man. Alright. We got that down pat. Let me go get 1 Corinthians. Let's go get it real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. So wow. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Now we're going to read about marriage. Starting in verse 1. Now concerning the things wherefore ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, there's that word again, right? This is for the man. Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Now this doesn't mean that he just has one, because obviously, multiple wives is in play back then, and it will be in play now. So that's not how you commit fornication for a man, is multiple wives. Or sex for quote-unquote marriage, because marriage is sex. Marriage is laying with another woman. We already established that, right? Back then, you didn't have to sign no fucking papers. This marriage right here is like fucked up. You gotta sign papers to be married, or it's against the rules to sleep with a woman. You have to be with a woman, y'all together in the same household, man, and you lay with her, man. Then you married to her after that. It's not no you fuck a woman and then you're not married. You married to that woman. Listen, man. Matter of fact, y'all think I'm bullshit, man. You gotta search for stuff. So wow. Give me one moment. Hold on. Alright, Salak, I can't find it. Never mind. Uh, so where was we at? 1 Corinthians 7 and hold on, Salak. Okay, 1 Corinthians 7 and 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also wife unto the husband. So let me see something. You know what? Yeah. Let's continue. Verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife had not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband had no power of his own body, but the wife. So that's basically you subjected to your wife, and your body. You know, if she wants some, give her some. You know, if he wants you to give her some, you some. You know, vice versa, right? Verse 5. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent, for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer. So if y'all doing fasting and prayer, that's when y'all can both be like, hey, I don't want to do this, I'm doing fasting and prayer. And then if he accepting this, yeah, and come together again, that Satan tempt ye not for your inconsistency, right? So you say he won't tempt you, man. So because if one spouse is not giving you what you want, they could be tempted by Satan to leave you. So that's why it says that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency, right? Let's hold on. Lock. Disease. Unchastity. Inconsistency means unchastity. See, it means involuntary urination or defecation. Maybe it's something like not having intercourse or something like that. Verse 6, but I speak this by permission and not of commandment. Verse 7, for I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man have his proper gift of the Most High, one after this manner, and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them to abide, for they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. Why did it say that? Why did it say it is better to marry than to burn? That's intercourse. That's getting you a spouse. Being together. Because when you unmarried, you're not with nobody. You're not with nobody, right? Verse 10, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. Right? Let not the wife depart from her husband. And if she depart, let her remain unmarried. Like it was saying before, let her remain unmarried. Or be recounseled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. Right? She gets a bill of divorcement that says she can't do nothing unless those two reasons. Verse 12, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she please to dwell with him, let him not put her away. So If she ain't being a wicked ass motherfucker, man, and she still doesn't believe this word, okay, keep her. Hold on to her as a man of the Lord. You know, you don't gotta divorce her. But just know that, you know, maybe in that day she'll get it, maybe she won't. But if she's willing and she's doing the shit she's supposed to do, but just don't believe, hey, still keep her. Don't put her away. You know, and that goes for this time now, man, because you know we got couples that one is woken up, one is not, and this is useful right now to that situation. If you got a woman that's not awake, okay, don't put her away. That's what the scripture says, man. Hold on to her. Maybe she'll get it in the last days, but yeah, you don't put her away. Verse 12. But to the rest speak, I not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. So she's okay with what you believe in, but she don't believe it, hey, dwell with her. Verse 13, and a woman which hath an husband, this is vice versa, that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. So this is if he's not a wicked ass demon, man, and he's trying to rear you off your belief. But if he's trying to rear you off your belief, you got every right to leave him and give him a bill of divorcement and get you a man of the Lord, right? Those are the two ways to remember. But if he's willing and he's, you know, he's listening to you, but he just don't believe, and he's keeping the peace in the house, and he's not being a wicked ass demon, you know, keep him, man. He's got a job, he's supporting the family as a woman, and you believe, keep him. You know, you already married to him, so the Most High just says it's better for you just stay with him for right now, right? For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now they are holy, right? So if you got one that believes and the other don't believe, man, you know, there's a chance that your kids, man, you know, you teach them the right way, man, you know. They're sanctified by you, you know, because you're the holy one, right? But in that day, man, if that man that don't get it, man, he you know, it's over for him, you know, because we know that our salvation is through Yahushua. So we know if that man is still denying it at this point, yeah, he's a 2/3. But a woman, on the other hand, man, you know, that salvation is through childbearing. We can take away their reproach. So it's always keep your woman by your side, man. You never know what might happen in that day. But yeah, we're for paraphrasing verse 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife. You know, he's sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband, right? Elsewhere your children are unclean, but now they are holy. Verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let them depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases. So if they want to leave, they're not under bondage. Let them leave. But the Most High have called us to peace. Verse 16. For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife? Verse 17. But as the power have distributed to every man, as the Lord have called every one, so let him walk. And so ordain I in all churches. Verse 18. Is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any man called in uncircumcision? Let him not be circumcised. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but keeping the commandments of the power. Right? It's all about keeping the Most High commandments, man. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Right? Shalom. Art thou called being a servant? Care not for it. But if thou mayest be free, use it rather. For he that is called in the Lord being a servant is the Lord's free man. Likewise also he that is called being free is a Mashiach. Ye are bought with a price. Be not ye servants of men. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called therein abide with the power. Right? Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord, yet I give my judgment as one that have obtained mercy of the Lord, to be faithful. I suppose therefore that it is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be. Art thou bound unto wife? Seek not to be loose. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. Right? Basically means if you don't have nobody right now, just basically if you can withstand it, just focus on the Most High, man. You know. And if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Right? Marry means to what? Penetrate. Come together. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both that they that have wives be as though that they had none. Verse 30. And they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. So I'm gonna stop it right there, man. I think y'all get the point, man. Y'all get it. And I'm gonna get you. Hold on, slot. We got some more precepts to go over. Matthew 5:32, and it reads, and this is Yahweh speaking. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving her for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, commit adultery. Right. So that was back to what we were saying, man. So let me read that again. But I say unto you that whoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committed adultery. So, like we were saying, a woman is not supposed to sleep with another man by those two reasons, though. If it's those two reasons, then she's free to go. Now let me get my last precept and I'll let y'all go, man. I know y'all tired. Mark 10:8. Mark 10:8, and it reads. And they twine. Slot. Let me read Mark 10 and verse 6. But from the beginning of creation, the Most High made them male and female. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother. Right? Once you leave your house, look what you got to do, and cleave to his wife. Cleave to his wife, man. Get you a place together, right? Once you find that right one, then you leave your mother and father and get you a place. Get you a place together. And look what it says after that, verse 8. And they twine shall be one flesh. That's coming together and boom, doing what you got to do. So then they are no more twine, but one flesh, right? So that's why Joseph, man, and Mary, they would have got looked down on if they would have said, because Joseph, you were supposed to be with her in the house together before they did that, man. So yeah, I mean, I hope this was edifying to y'all and it cleared things up. Yeah. So marriage and fornication, man, that's what that is, man. So I'm gonna end it off right here. I love y'all, family. The water. Pray y'all was edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. I want to give all praises to the Father and the Son, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua. Peace, I'm out.